You are a 10-year-old kid. Your mother lets you go out into the big wide world because you have the equivalent of a chihuahua to defend you. You find a bird and fight it with your chihuahua. Then, you lock it away, probably forever. Pokémon on paper sounds like illegal animal trafficking and fighting with fewer steps, honestly. And yet, the strange thing is, the children who grew up on this premise did not turn into a generation of cockfighters. They turned into the generation that is kinder to animals than any generation before. They made stop animal testing a status symbol. They donate to rhino-saving organizations on Instagram. They mourn the extinction of species they have never seen. And at exactly the same time, Pokémon grows to become the highest grossing media franchise in the world. So today, I'm asking, is all of this a coincidence? This is the story of how Pokémon trained us in what to do and what not to do to real animals. In 1996, a shy Japanese game designer who had spent his childhood collecting insects released a video game about catching creatures in the woods. He has said in interviews that the entire concept of Pokémon was an attempt to give children growing up in cities the exact same sense of awe he had as a 7-year-old catching beetles. That origin matters because it shows the root of Pokémon's concept was never conquest, it was encounter. Generation 2 was the first leap the games made in incorporating Pokémon welfare as a mechanic. Some Pokémon could only evolve when this number was high enough, which meant the game was now mechanically rewarding you for being kind. But in a battle, even if a small mammal is struck down by a god ray from a literal deity, when a Pokémon's HP hits 0, the game does not say your Rattata was killed, it says it has fainted, a medical word that implies the harm is temporary and that recovery is the expectation. Pokémon alone decided that violence in this universe would have a ceiling, and the ceiling was unconsciousness, treatable in 10 seconds for free at the nearest clinic. That clinic is the Pokémon Center, a building in every single Pokémon game ever made, a building where you can heal your entire team to full health for free with no questions asked. The Pokémon Center is the most frictionless universal healthcare system in the history of fiction. And let's just appreciate how strange it is that a Japanese corporation franchise has been quietly telling an entire generation of children that medical care should be free and instant. And the takeaway lodged in players' brain is that harm to animals is real, but it is reversible if you respond to it with care. On one side of the right-wrong ledger, fainting instead of dying, universal healthcare, nicknaming, care mechanics, and animal exploiting villains suggest Pokémon is, at a minimum, correlated with exactly the values Gen Z rehearse. My final hypothesis is that more kids grew up with both pets and Pokémon at the same time, and in turn, started caring more about animals.